Good evening, friends. Hello. Welcome. It is time for BigDenoPlays Radiance. Radiance. G'day, Yogi Bear. G'day, Orimisk. Yes, so we're here to play Radiance, and that's very exciting. I had a question, a comment on my YouTube video, which released this morning, my top 10 games of the year solo, and a question was asked, was this considered for my top games list? I need to turn on my AC, standby. And the answer that I'm going to provide, that I'll provide for you now, is I haven't considered this because it's still technically a prototype, still in its playtest form. So it'll definitely feature in next year's list, I think, at this stage. It's a very cool game. So I think it'll definitely be a part of next year's list, but I didn't consider it for this one. I did actually come up on my pub meeple rankings, though. Let me see if I can track that down. The actual ranking that I ended up with. Now that I've released the episodes, it's okay. No, I did eject it from the rankings. Yep. I know, there you go. It was an interesting list. Let's actually go and have a look at the pub meeple rankings. I think might be the easiest approach here, rather than do anything else. This should hopefully work. Hey, look at me go. Oh, there's me. So I'll just do this. There we go. So this was my top list for the year, and it didn't change much from here. So this was just the pub meeple rankings, and so this was my starting point for my 2025 played games. So KDM obviously played 2 full campaigns. Mage Knight I played 6 games. Ashes 57 plays. Rome came in at second on my solo list. So the one that I had to change, well, I didn't have to, but I decided to, was Ashes Reborn. When I did these rankings, this was about halfway through November. So Grim Coven didn't actually feature on this list at the time, and so I had to then reevaluate. And at the time when I was doing it, Old King's Crown was my #1 multiplayer game. But yeah, things. This was my starting point. I didn't use this as my source of truth. I just looked at the things and said, yep, no, I think I need to bump that down a little bit based on how I feel about it now. And that's why Grim Coven ended up in #2 on the multiplayer and #4 on the solo. But yeah, the solo list is pretty much spot on. We've got Ashes, Rome, Unstoppable was my top 3, and in that order, then Grim Coven, then the Anarchy. So yeah, Radiance came in at 11th overall on the list in terms of how I placed it. So I think that's pretty impressive for a prototype, for a prototype game. But yeah, these are all the games I played this year. So Civolution, Station 4, Radiance, Skytear Hordes, Elder Scrolls, Leviathan Wilds, Hatred's Wall. So yeah, Dungeon Alliance was pretty close to cracking the top 10. It's not a bad little game. Mistborn did really well, surprisingly. Uprising, so yeah, a lot of these were just solo, so Uprising was in 10th place on my multiplayer. Underwater Cities jumped above it in the rankings. Black Rose Wars jumped above both of them. Euthia, great game. Warp's Edge, Paladins, Space Hulk. I always find it more interesting what was down the bottom. It surprises me where some of these sat. Dungeon Degenerates, I was talking about that at Games Night last night. It was my biggest disappointment of the year. Everyone rates it very highly on solo groups and stuff, and I've just figured out it's not really my type of game. It's a lot more about the narrative, and the core mechanic was just dull as. It's actually it's one of my open tabs at the moment on my laptop, Hellbringer. It looks interesting. I may do a late pledge for that. But Under Falling Skies, that's another one that's pretty highly regarded in solo circles, and I tried it and just didn't hit for me at all. But Warp's Edge did. Warp's Edge and Under Falling Skies are two that people talk about solo quite a lot. And yeah, Under Falling Skies just a big miss. Kingdom Legacy Feudal Kingdom, I enjoyed it, but I think it's just, for me, it was a one and done. I don't need to play it anymore. Age of Atlantis was just a byproduct of the fact that there was other games that I liked more. Witchcraft could have been better, but yeah, and then you get up to these ones where I say, well, they're actually pretty good. I mean, Massive Darkness is fine. We played a 5-player game, it was good fun. Blood Rage is always a cracker. I've still got a copy behind me. Coffee Traders, I played it twice, good little Euro game. Mosaic, we played it a couple of times. It was a pretty cool Civ game. Ticket to Ride, we finished the campaign last night. I came in second out of 5. I was about 10 points behind the guy who won. 1,150 points or something it was. Pretty fun campaign. Hand of Fate, I played 5 times. I played all the Kinfi Delve games this year, and they're really great. I've got some of them on the channel. But yeah, so then you start moving up the list, and it's all really good games. Defenders of the Wild, I thought I'd like that more than I did. It was pretty good, but the artwork was what captured me. Dragon Eclipse, Frostpunk. I'm going to play another playthrough of that. Actually, that reminds me, we've got to put together a poll for this week's playthrough, which will be on Saturday or Sunday night. I was going to suggest Nemesis, Euthia, or Frostpunk, because I feel like playing a really big, detailed, in-depth game. So that's what's going to be the next poll. So Euthia, we've got the Cruel Frost expansion. Frostpunk, I just haven't played it in a while, and I'd really like to. And yeah, solo. And Nemesis, I've never played solo, I've never played on the channel, so I feel like that'd be cool. Why is my face gone from there? Hey, we're back. Cool. So, Radiance finishes on Gamefound in a day or two. I'll check that out. Yeah, 2 days left. It's just about to crack 200,000 in funding, which is the highest ever Best with One Games solo game of the month funding, which is fantastic. I'm obviously a very big fan of this game, and I only stumbled across it as a result of picking up Rome Fate of an Empire and going, this is like one of my top games of the year. I need to find whatever this guy's made and buy it. And I literally stumbled on a thread on BGG talking about his next design, and it sounded really interesting. It sounded like, well, this could be even better than Rome Fate of an Empire for me. And he had print and play and playtest options, so I just went on there and downloaded it and printed it, and started playing it. So it's been really great to experience the game in that way. I've been fully welcomed by the playtest community and the little community that Joe's got, which is awesome. I think my name's even in the rule book now, which is pretty cool. Let me see if that's the case. If that comes up in here. I think it is. This is the rulebook. We'll need this open because we're going to need to refer to this at some point. But yeah, I feel like my name's at the start somewhere. Or is it at the end? Come on. Come on, internet. Hey. But my name's Tent. It's not Trent, it's Tent. Tent Dennison, the dispatcher of pests. That's me. I'm happy with that. Yeah, so it's been a really fun experience being involved in the little small way that I was. I did provide some notes on the game, and it's not my first time playtesting or being involved in games design, but I didn't contribute very much at all. When I printed this out, it was pretty much done. The thing I'll say before we get into tonight's playthrough, this is my print and play version of the game, and my version of the cards does not have the new graphical layouts and designs. And we will go and have a look at the actual page for a bit, because the page, the new art style is sick. So I want to just highlight that quite a lot, that the new graphics, the new design is significantly improved. And you can see, yeah, compared to my version, they've just been cleaned up a little bit. So some of the changes they've made, instead of having this little icon for advanced cards, they've now just removed that completely and changed the color at the top, the bar at the top, and that's so you can see quite easily if it's been upgraded, and it's less icon, which means you've got more space for text, more consistent level of text, and that type of thing, which is nice. The locations have got this green banner, the enemies have got this black banner, the shades have gotten in black, which is nice. The treacheries have got their own sort of colour now. So, and then these luminary mats have been improved. Nothing's finalised in this. These are great, by the way. They've changes they made to these, the light generation and the two growth tracks. Love that. Such a simple thing, the change they've made, but yeah. So all of these little changes we don't have in our copy that we're playing at the moment. So just, hello Match Fixer, wonderful human. They are just my print and play cards. Their rules have not changed much, but we are going to play with a module tonight that I know the rules have changed a little bit, but I have not upgraded my cards. So I think there's actually, these are the barons, the location barons, and I've got 7, but I think there's 12 now at the last count, maybe. So I haven't printed these out. It was a spur of the moment decision for me to play this, and I didn't get an opportunity. So, but I'll explain those in a little bit when we get through the setup. So I have played all of the characters on stream except for this one and this one. I've played a Courage and Temperance and the other big guy, what's his name? Justice, yep. But I haven't played Wisdom, and Wisdom is the most complicated character, and then Mender is the most complicated class. So this is a super combo, and one of the things that Joe noted in the rulebook is that this is more of a late game. It builds up and gets very, very strong late game. So to make my life hard, I've played against Greed, who has a very small corruption limit for a loss. So we don't really get much of an opportunity to let Wisdom build up into the powerhouse that they can be, and instead we have to try and manufacture our way through this, which is a slightly shorter game, which is fine. And yeah, one of the other things I'll talk about, yeah, don't do it on stream. One of the other things I'll talk about, which I saw someone in the comments section at the Gamefound recommend this. You already have this, a little phase tracker, and this is the game looks complicated, and I'm sure that anyone that's looked into it has been like, wow, that's actually got a lot of shit going on. And it sort of does, but at the same time, it's actually very simple, because you just go, follow these, and no part of that is, any part of those is complicated, with the exception of travel maybe, but guess what? There's a section on travel on the back. So the reason I say that is having this will make it feel a lot easier to run through the game, and after a while, as with most complicated games, you'll get through that and you won't need that. I'm still just going to have it right here so I can make sure I don't mess up too much. I think I've done some pretty good playthroughs. Mike from the One Stop Co-op Shop did an amazing playthrough that came out a couple of days ago. Full credit to him, he did an amazing job explaining it. He got very sloppy at the end, which is completely fair, because it got very complicated at the end with a lot of things happening. So I'm going to try and not do that, but I guarantee you I will. We're going to randomise our elements. In the full deluxe version, you're going to have actual cubes for these, which is great. We're just randomly grabbing these and assigning them for now. And it did boost the campaign. It was exciting. So these are all assigned now, and these will be cubes in the thing, which will make them a little bit easier to use. I think there was some possibility that there was going to be 3 symbols on each cube, so a locked and an unlocked, or a used, an exhausted and unexhausted side for each element, and then they were going to provide whatever it is, 12 dice. And there was a possibility that one of the ways to play the game, a variant, might be to actually roll the dice and have a random spread of elements. I think that's a really interesting way to play the game. Would be probably quite unbalanced, because if you rolled all fire, then every time you activated a fire card, it would be crazy. But yeah, that was fun. So I thought we might put up a little poll. So we're playing Wisdom Mender against Greed, and then I thought it would be interesting to look at the difficulty modifiers that exist in the rulebook, and then decide if we would also like to add a meddler, which are now called shadows, like remnants of the bad guys. They used to be called meddlers, antagonists. So let's bring up the rulebook again, and we'll just go to the difficulty modifiers page. So this is one of the things I like about this. So you have a very customizable difficulty setting in this game. The one that I first played on was Spark, which is considered to be slightly easier. So you use a 2 strength companion and you get 3 experience during setup. It actually is a very, very easy way to play the game, I found. Escalates very quickly. This one is the normal, slightly easy setting. You get a free companion. When you get here into difficulty, you don't get a companion, and you can flip the mats over. So I think the last game I recorded on the channel, I used the hard difficulty settings. So that definitely made a difference. And then, yeah, so here's the custom difficulty setting. So you can add a companion, or you can include a shadow, or you can flip the hard mats, or you can advance cubes, or you can include a mandatory side quest, and you can include a mandatory baron. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. the hard version of this game is pretty hard. So what would you like to see? Would we like to see, if we're going to do a companion, which lessens the difficulty, or if we're going to see a shadow or antagonist or meddler? So I'll put up a little poll, start a poll, companion, yes or no. Boom. And I'll show off the companions because I don't think they've been shown before. So Temperance, they're all the characters that exist in the game and the classes that exist in the game as well, the different classes. So Temperance, very cool. I use this in one of my playthroughs. Allows you to change an enemy's defense to the opposite type. I use that all the time. It was so good. And when Temperance is killed, it actually flips to a more powerful version, but it dies every, it dies in a limited number of turns. So really cool one. Wisdom, we can't use Wisdom, but it lets you unlock skills in a different spot, and it flips automatically when you get to there. Pretty crazy. The Hunter, you can ignore a shade on the location this round. A shadow. And it flips when you reach coordinates 6 or higher. The Mender, which is another one we can't use, but lets you heal, which is very powerful as a companion. Justice. Pretty cool. Get a free permanent booster. Very powerful starting ability. And when you reach 2 corruption, it flips. Awesome. Courage was the one that I used in my first playthrough, and she was great. She just allows you to generate free light, and when she levels up, you gain 3 light. So she's a phenomenal little supportive person for your first companion. The Wayfarer lets you reduce travel distance, which is so cool. And then the Scorchlight allows you to remove obstacles, and Beacons can allow you to get more explore value. And we get a hand size limit of 70 flips. So they're all the companions. The looks as though companions are a no. We're not keen on companions. And that's okay. We'll close that poll. And now we'll decide if we want to do a shadow. Shadow. Yes or no? And so the shadows are the same deal. They are the antagonists, the little versions of the main end bosses. So we can't use greed. Actually, I think you can. I think there's nothing in the rules that say you can't use the same antagonist. Let me go check that. It's on page 32. Because that'd be fun, have Greed and his little brother Greed. Shadows. Oh yeah, if you play with the shadow with the same name as your chosen shade, that shadow represents the shade taking a more active involvement in trying to stop your quest early on. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool way of describing that. So we could use Greed, but yeah, here's the 4 shadows. So you've got Pride, and these things that they meddle with, they kind of reflect how the main villains work, which is pretty cool. So Pride, Envy. I've never actually played Envy, the final boss version. We're not playing it today, but that's one I'm excited to leave for when I get my full game. Wrath is one of the biggest all-time pests. Look, is it 6 difficulty adds to the game, because what he does is if you don't advance corruption or complete a treachery, you take damage equal to the corruption. So he just constantly is plinking you for damage, and then when a treachery is completed, he comes down and you can't kill him. He just goes back. So he just constantly stays in the fight, plinking you for damage. He's an all-time pest. But there was a card that I played that allowed me to blank that text box, and I killed him and got rid of him. It was the best. And then Greed. I feel like we're going to use Greed, so let's do a Greed action, and we'll have Greed as our shadow. So that's cool. So we're going to play with Greed the Shadow, and Greed the Shade. So that does add difficulty, and we'll explain that in a second, but let's start to prepare for the game now. So I'm using this, which is the Gloomhaven tracking thing to track health, so I don't have to muck around with health cubes and experience cubes here. We're not using a companion. This is called the Deno Dial. the playtest group started dubbing it the Deno Dial, so there's actually one of these in the Gamefound now as a result of me using this in the game. It's a very useful little addition to the game, so I'm pleased that that's been my contribution to the Gamefound, is the Deno Dial. Because it allows you to track your attack points that you generate in the turn, because as it gets late in the game, you do tend to generate quite a lot of attack points. So this is the Dusk deck. These are the smaller enemies. There's quite a few of them, so they'll just be there. And this is the Doom deck. These are the bigger enemies. There's some absolute shockers in there that I do not want to see. There's a couple of really bad ones. And then we go over to this screen. So this is the locations. Now, when you play against Greed, and I'll show this on the screen now, you remove all the locations with a 6 from the game. So there's only 24, 26, something like that, locations in the deck now. There's normally 36. So we've lost 11 of those or something like that. So it's a much smaller deck, which makes for a more condensed game. But because of that, you only have 5 corruption before you lose. So he's all about having a much sort of a quicker game. So you've really got to push to beat this guy. Again, going back to my point, using Wisdom Mender, which is more of a late game character, should make this quite a challenge. You cannot travel to one of the final locations unless we have completed at least 2 other locations. So we need to explore at least 2 locations, and we ignore Shade Influence mat effects. So this is the Shade Influence mat. Every time you explore a location, it is added on here, and what it represents is the more you go out into the world, the more you spread your light into the world, the less influence the shades have on the world and on your area. So the more you explore, the more people around are willing to support you. If you get all the way up to here, you actually gain bonus experience when you get into the final battle. G'day, Tom. So I really like that mechanic. I think that's had a slight change in how it's organised in the final one. That's normal difficulty. We're going to play with side quests. So again, side quests and location barons are the 2 expansion modules that come in the deluxe version of the game. Mike did not play with these. I don't know if he got them. So the quests board is very simple. You get dealt out 5 quests at the start of the game, and you can pay to add those into your play area and try to complete them. They provide you another another goal to try and complete. So we're going to deal ourselves out 5 of these now, and that will be our quest board. The first quest that you purchase, you can purchase it at an explore cost or an experience cost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is literally all we need for these little side quests. So let's have a look at those, and we'll come back to Greed in a second. So the first of our side quests, now we're not making these mandatory. Again, this is one of the things you can do to increase the difficulty. You can make a certain number of these mandatory. We're not going to do that, but I really like these. I think these are a great addition to the game. I love these, and I'll talk more about the location barons in a second. So fully explore 2 locations. Now I'll grab some of the locations that we've removed from the game. Every location has a little icon here which tells you what type of location it is. These aren't really referenced much in the game other than the Wayfarer. The Wayfarer's cards use those a bit, but this is also another one of those, so that's explore 2 hill locations. And that's a very, very powerful bonus. When travelling, -2 distance, that is unreal. Wow. Okay. So that'll be a really strong one. You could travel a lot further. So that one might be interesting, but we'd have to find 2 hills and valleys. Fully explore 10 locations. Old Man's Walking Stick. Unlikely to be going for that one. Warden's Vigil. Block a total of 7 damage in a single defend phase. That's not too bad. Could happen. This is well prepared. I'm gonna trash this one because I've done that one before, and I think it's awesome, but it just changes the way you play. Okay, in a single turn, suffer 11 or more damage. I don't think that's gonna happen. No shields needed. And finally, last man standing, block a total of 15. All right, so we're probably not going to be on for many of these quests. Maybe the first couple, but they will be there available for me to take. The treacheries, we have 1 face-up treachery, and these are one of the lost conditions. There are a couple. The first is we run out of corruption based on the shade that we're playing. The second is 3 completed treacheries. Carbalist support. And I'll just bring this one back up again. So down the bottom, 5 corruption or 3 completed treacheries is our lost condition from that. The other lost condition, of course, is if we run out of health, we die. No big deal. And if we run out of light is our last lost condition. If we don't have enough light to pay for an action set of cards in our hand, then we lose. You can go down to 0 light because light replenishes at the end of a round, but if you are unable to pay for an action set, you lose. So we're going to play on normal difficulty for both of these mats. We start at Far Home. I don't know if I've shuffled this, but let's talk about the location Baron. So I'm really excited about this module. There's 2 ways you can play this module. You can assign a Baron to a specific location. So you can look through the locations and you can say, yeah, this is the Lake of Ire. This Doom Commander will be found at the Lake of Ire. And then that's it. So you could roll that randomly, your first 2 dice to determine the specific location. You could add a few of them. I like that because what that does is it then assigns them to a specific location. It makes them feel like they're defending, their territory. The second way to do it, which is the way we're going to do it, is you can actually shuffle these into this deck. And the way that this works is when you draw a location, if a location Baron is on top, that Baron will be assigned to the next location that you draw. So that's what we're going to do. We may or may not see a Baron. If we do, it'll be very exciting. So treachery's out. What was the treachery? Remove, yeah, when all, oh yeah, okay, Kabbalist support, it's a 6. Oh, that's awful. So we're pretty much ready to start. Let's talk about the little shadow, but we'll deal out our 3 shade worth of enemies. That's a 2, don't be another 2. A Soul Assassin, cool. So we start with those enemies in the game, and then in the first round we will add some more. So yes, this little shadow, these little nasty meddlers. So in the refresh phase, we have to place an experience on this guy or we lose light. So he's actively causing us to lose experience, generate less experience, which is very detrimental. And when we travel to the 3 locations that are the final place, that's when he intervenes. And intervene is when they come into play. They flip, and they go on the board and start attacking them. You can start attacking them. So their impact can be significant or it can be less significant. You have to just play around them, which I really like. So he won't do anything to us until we reach the final goal, other than he's just going to cause us to have to spend experience every turn, which is rubbish. All right, let's zoom in on our board. So Wisdom and Mender. So the Mender is like a healer class, but it's also about discarding cards. And that's the second reason why this playthrough is going to be a challenge, because when you cycle through your deck, that is when you will raise corruption. And if we get to 5 corruption, we lose. So we kind of have to be very cautious about using our Mender's abilities to discard cards. We need to use the regenerate ability, and that allows us to take cards from our discard pile and put them back into our deck. So we need to be looking for ways to get regenerates off. I'll talk a little bit more about Wisdom in a second, but we're going to deal out our starting 7 cards. So only in the first turn do you deal yourself out 7. Normally, you deal out 6, or whatever your hand size says here. 6, 7. What a crazy game that is, hey? So if you're talking about Sins of Heracles, I decided against backing it. I was in for it for $750, 750 things. It was crazy. But in the end, I decided against it. Because I sort of felt like I'd experienced everything that system had to offer. I mean, I did 3 playthroughs of Cycle 1, I did 4 playthroughs of Cycle 2, 3 of Cycle 3, 2 of Cycle 4, and 1 of Cycle 5. And that was a lot of ATO. So I decided that if I was going to want to play around with that system some more, that I would play Kingdoms Forlorn. So I bought Kingdoms Forlorn and actually sold ATO. I may come to regret that. I don't think I will. You know, there's always new games, there's always new things to play. But it's a really wonderful experience that I have very fond memories of. And I have playthroughs of Cycles 2, 3 and 4 on my channel that you can watch the entire playthrough. The reason I didn't do Cycle 1, a lot of people have done playthroughs of Cycle 1. There's a lot of content out there for Cycle 1, and if you've not played it, the game comes alive in Cycle 2. It is a brand new game, and it feels way better. It feels so exciting in Cycle 2. Cycle 3 is bonkers. It's all about time travel, unbelievable. Cycle 4, crazy. Cycle 5 was probably my limit. Yeah, Cycle 1 is fun, right? When you get to Cycle 2, you'll realise, oh my God, Cycle 1 was just the training wheels. This is a lot more serious now. All right, so let's look at our cards, and we can start to talk about our first turn. We do have to place one of these as our Explore card to start the game, and then we will move on to the phases, and I'll put this here just so everyone can see the phases a little bit more as well. But yes, all right, so first of all, Stand Strong. I really like, I love this game now. The artwork, we've succeeded in getting a stretch goal that's going to have unique artwork for every card. Awesome. Not sure, every luminary card. I'm not sure if the professions are yet. They might be as well. Someone can correct me on that or not. But yeah, there's going to be unique art on most of the cards, and that's fantastic. So, okay, so this card is, so the Mender profession, the cards tend to be relatively low light cost, not as powerful as the other cards on face value, but a lot of their actions are about discarding cards, and you gain benefits from discarding cards here. So if we look at Countervail, when you discard a card, you can do this thing on here. So if you discard a card that's got the healer tag, you heal 1. If you discard a card that's got Fervent, you mill 1. I think that's milling from the Dusk deck, I can't recall. I'll check that in a second. Regenerate is the key one. That's where you take cards from your discard pile and put them in the bottom. Now that's kind of a net nothing, right? You're discarding a card, gaining a card. Strong, pull 1 enemy. Some other cards allow you to regenerate more than 1, which is cool. Hidden Depths, when you discard, or one card you discard instead counts as X clones of that card discarded, equal to the shield value of the card. X is the card's shield. The clones have a shield of 1, and if yeah. So basically, you get to add an extra version of discarding that card. So this one, we would get a second card. So if this one had creative and we discarded it, we would get 2 regenerations if we had Hidden Depths unlocked, which is nice. This one, if you discard a card that matches your Echoes element, your Echoes is a face-up card on your discard pile. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure it is. There's a lot of cool little interconnected things that happen with this track, with these ones. So Echo, I'm almost certain it's a face-up card of your discard pile. Echo, the top card of your discard pile. And mill is move the top number of cards to your discard pile. Okay, so you can mill 1. Excellent. So this allows you to gain the attack and explore value of the card that you discard if it matches the Echo, which is the top card of the thing. So if I have a fire card here and I discard a fire card, I can add that to my attack set, my action set values for the turn. So again, this is all about discarding and how you do that, but we can't push corruption up too fast, otherwise we're in trouble. This one is cool. Whenever you heal, you place the damage on an enemy in your play area. Really awesome. We're going to hopefully need to do a fair bit of healing because he's only 7 health. I'll make wisdom. The element of your Echo is also active. So we can potentially have two elements active, which means we can have a lot more skills in play if I've unlocked them. Really strong, but very dependent on the situation as to which skills we want to have active. This one I'll come back to. This one is a use ability any number of times. Discard a card, then you can push an enemy or deal damage to an enemy. So again, discard cards, discard cards. Wisdom himself is about trances, and he has cards that allow you to put a trance onto someone. And when you attach trances, you can put explore tokens on the enemies, and that allows you to do things with them. The trances are quite difficult. However, during setup with Wisdom, unlock the rightmost skill on your profession mat for free. So we've actually started with Songs of Battle unlocked, and we also get to choose one of these. Now, we already have Fire active, and Prep is one of the coolest ones. It is exhaust this skill, then up to twice, swap 2 skills tokens. Prep cannot swap its own token. So I can set my board so that I've got the skills that I want to combine, such as Hidden Depths and Countervail, at the same time. Really, really awesome. However, I actually want those 2 combined, and probably these ones are the key. So we're aiming to go for this row here, and so I'm going to unlock this one because we get to start with 1 unlocked, and then we get a bonus 1 unlocked here. Interesting choices. So let's continue. So the next card we'll look at is another healer card, Regain Control. Sorry, it's a Wisdom card. And here you go. If this is our action set card, we can attach a trance card to an enemy. After you attach this card, you can gain light equal to half that enemy's shadow. So if this isn't the card that you attach, if this is the action card you play, you can't attach it. You attach from your hand. But if this one is in your hand and you attach a trance card another way, you get light back. So pretty powerful, a decent boost card for exploration. And here's another trance, which is discard progress from every enemy, and you place it on the location so you can explore in a different way. But that is such a powerful action ability. Enemies with trance attachment give you +1 experience when defeated. Extremely powerful. And after you attach this, add a thing to an enemy. Cool. You can also discard progress of an enemy to attach a trance to it. Some cards allow you to place progress on enemies in other ways. One of the other professions, and I think it's actually the one I've taken, which is the Wayfarer. Scorch right. Wayfarer. No. I'm sure it's this one. Anyway. It's all good. A lot of stuff in this game. Cool ability there. If you play an attack card with a higher explore than attack, then you gain extra attack. Really useful ability. Attach a trance card to every enemy with stuff on it. Heal 1 for each trance you attach. After defeating an enemy with a trance, attach a trance to a different enemy, and after you attach it, push. So as I'm sure you can see, this is all about doing really weird combos with adding cards to enemies, putting progress on enemies, and it's a very expert version of the game. I would not recommend this class for your first game. You may discard up to 2 cards, healing 1 for each card discarded. That then combines with Countervail, which would allow you to heal more. Again, we've got to be very cautious with how we use these discards. You may discard your Explore card. This counts as a discarded card, and put a card from your hand in the Explore slot. Really versatile. So, we're ready to start the game. I just wanted to go through the cards. I need to pick one of our cards for an Exploration card. Strong and Swift. 5. Regain Control. No. Restoration. Yeah, I'm going to use Stand Strong as our Explore card in the first turn. So we will have 6 Exploration. Okay, we are ready. So let's look at this. Have I put this in a good spot? It's pretty good. So the first step is the staging phase. So we reveal total darkness based on our threat track and threat tokens. Our threat track is currently 3. And that's it. So we're just revealing 3 darkness worth of cards. If we had some more of the darkness on the location, that would be when we would add more. And if our darkness value was higher, we would obviously add more. But we're just going to add 3. So when it's 3 or 4, we pull from the Dusk deck. If it's 5 or higher, your first card you pull is from there. So we have a Garradeth Seeker. He moves to the front. And then the Dusk. Next one is a Wing Wraith. Very similar to the Ring Wraiths, but they're Wing Wraiths. Let's zoom in on those enemies. Cool. No when revealed cards. This is a 4 attack. That is very, very bad, but unlikely whenever a treachery is completed. Oh, that's so bad. This enemy's attack is equal to our corruption. Our corruption is currently 1, so it's a 1 attack. The Soul Assassin, if we travel, it's going to make an attack. And it will also engage us if it's in the quest area. This enemy attacks twice in the defend phase if you're at corruption 4 or higher. So photonic defense, physical defense, photonic defense, photonic defense. So we probably want to look to do a physical attack. So we've done our staging phase. The next phase is the action set phase, and that's where we select our action card. So I think we want to go for our highest attack card here. Valiance is a 7 physical. That's pretty good. But I really wanted to use that one for our action card, so enemies give us bonus experience. No, it's only if they've got a trance attachment, so we're not going to be able to get any trances, are we? I don't think so. Okay, so we'll use that as our attack card, 7, and let me just make sure I've counted this up right. So this guy's only got 2 health, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so we can kill those ones. That one may not be in our play area, we'll see in a second. So I think we want to use, we've only got fire cards, so it is Songs of Battle. All right. Opportune moment, opportune moment. Discard 1 progress. All right, so we're going to use regain control as our action card for the turn. I'll zoom in so we can see. And that's going to allow us to attach a trance card to an enemy. We want to attach it to that wing wraith, I think. And then I think we just have to go for our best attack here and not use any of our skills, which is activating Earth. I will explain Dark Past in a second. But this is just our best option because it gets us 4 attack, which should mean we can kill most of the enemies that we draw. 3, 2, and 2 is a total of 7. However, in Far Home, when you're in Far Home, you can spend 1 less light per round. So that's only going to cost us 6 light. So we go down to 14, which means the first 2 enemies engage us. Boom. Yeah, that's probably okay. Our exploration value is 7. So we can, yeah, I'll go back to this little tracker. So we've done our action set phase, we've paid our light costs. We now go to the engagement phase. So that's based on how far our light is down. And as you can see, it's there at 2, so 2 enemies engage us. Then we go to the darkness phase. So in this phase, we get to decide, are we going to prevent these little buffheads from doing stuff on the treachery? And the answer is yes, we definitely want that. So we're going to spend, of our explore points, which we have 1 and 6, 7, we're going to put 4 on these 2, so they don't get to do any meddling, leaving us 3 explore on the location. We need to have 4 to escape from Far Home. But that's okay. We're fine with being at Far Home for a little bit longer. We want to try and build up some strength before we head out into the brave world. So that's the end of the darkness phase. We go on to the attack phase. So it's now our turn to attack. Now, we do not have any of our skills available, but we do have this regain control. And I'll grab that over here. That allows us to attach a trance card to an enemy. So we can attach a trance card, and at this point we're going to go and read some stuff in the book and make sure we're doing this right. So attaching cards is on like 32, I think. Yeah, attaching a card means placing it with the text box reveals. Excellent. So pushing, move 1 chosen enemy or player to the quest area, move 1 chosen enemy from the quest area to your player area. Great. So, this card allows me to attach a trance card to an enemy as a one-off. I've got 2 cards available in my hand that I could attach as trances. The first one is after you attach this, push this enemy. Not much help to us, but it is what it is. This one, after you attach this, disarm this enemy. Disarm means they don't attack. So neither of these are really great, but when we have trances attached, we can do extra things with them, such as after you attach a trance card to an enemy, you may discard from the enemy to resolve it. Singular focus. Yeah. After you push an enemy, whenever you push an enemy, push +1 enemy out of that. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're going to attach it to the wing wraith. So that's been attached. So we disarm the wing wraith. Now, because the wing wraith is not attacking us, that doesn't do anything. It just stops him from attacking this round. But that's okay. There might be ways for us to trigger that again. And Next turn, if we can defeat him, after defeating an enemy with a trance attachment, we can attach the trance to a different enemy, etc. So there's things we can do that will be pretty cool. Great. So I've got my 7 attack plus my 4 attack is 11, so we can quite comfortably kill both of these champions, which will gain us 2 experience. Not a massive amount of experience. Would have been nice to do better, but c'est la vie. 2 experience. And so that is the end of the attack phase. So we now do the defend phase. None in our play area attack us. So that's it. We now go to the location phase. So this is removed. We produce light. So we currently produce 4 light. So we go up to 18. And then we rest. We're not going to rest. We can discard this, slide this across, discard this, and we will draw back up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we don't have any companions, and so now at this point we have to either place 1 of our experience on greed, and so we're going down to 1. I don't think there's a level up for 2 XP. Oh, there is. We're going to spend a level up for 2 XP. That's good, and it's unlocked 2 skills, so that's nice. Which means we lose 2 light. So we're back down to 16 light. Okay, what 2 skills do we want to unlock? So we do have to take a damage in the refresh phase. So this is where we're at now. This is Dark Pass. Again, Mender, high difficulty, because if you don't unlock this skill, every refresh phase, you must take a damage or pay a light because of his dark past. So if I unlock it, that's great, but it doesn't help us. So I think we want to gather strength for when we attach a trance card. And I think we want to use Countervail for when we discard cards. Yes. Okay. So that's our 2 skills unlocked. And that's it. That's round 1. Round 2, the staging phase. So our darkness value is still 3, and there is still no darkness here. So we're just going to reveal 3 enemies worth. So we have a Garadeth Shield Bearer and a Soul Scout, and I guarantee this one's going to be a 2. Yep, Threaten Swifter. What an absolute scumbag. Okay, he's good though. We want to bring him down. So we want to get cards and level ups, don't we? Okay, let's look at our cards and decide what our action set will be this turn. So we do only have 3 Explore, so we're probably going to want to spend some light so that we can get as many enemies down as possible. And there's one of these cards that has an ability for us to gain light as well. You may discard up to 2 cards. Healing, I don't think we want to use that one. Off the beaten path, look at that Explore value. Enemies with a trance attachment give you +2 when defeated. Okay, for each thing we remove, pull an enemy and deal it damage equal to twice the number of trance attachments. Yeah, so I think what we want to try and do here is attach a few more trances so that we can use that card. Discard to allow us to heal. Attach a trance card to 1 enemy in your play area. Fine. Find balance. Okay, I don't think we want to discard, but I think we're going to use that one as our boost card. So that's 1 light. I'd really like to do some ass whooping. So our only real ass whooping card. So we'll do that, and I think it'll have to be that. So that's 5 light, which will only be 4 light that we have to spend. So we go down to 12, but do we want to spend more? That's the only wind card I have, and I really want to use wind. Okay, after you attach a trance card, Solitude, end of the engagement phase. If there are more enemies in your quest area, increase your attack by your Echo's attack. Okay, so that's active this turn, so do I want to... That's rubbish, we don't want to worry about that. Hidden Depths, 1 card you discard, Songs of Battle. So we need a way to pull some cards in. Okay, so I definitely want to play that, and I definitely want to play that. The only other one that I can play, is there a 2 cost? There's a 4 cost, wow, that is crazy. Inner Strength. That's a lot of light to be putting out, don't I? It's a lot of light. I really want that. There are more enemies in your quest area after you attach a trance card. Okay. Attach a trance card to every enemy. After defeating an enemy with a trance attachment, after you attach this. This is the downside of filming this game, or of streaming it instead of filming it, because you really do need to be thinking a lot. The Threatened Swift is awful. So do I instead play Inner Strength over there? It's not going to let me do anything with that. But if I do that, then I'm going to spend 3, 6, 7 light, which will go down to 6, which will instead take me to 10, which will engage me with 3 enemies. 1, 2, 3. This is a photonic. Physical, physical, physical. 3, so I'll wipe all of them. And then I'm also going to be able to attach a trance card. Yeah, which is going to be off the beaten path. Okay. Alright, yeah, that's probably the best way to go about it, I think. Alright, let's do that. We're spending a lot of light early, I don't like that. So we're down to 10. Far Home helps us there. We go to the engagement phase. So now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and that's because of this value here. And our explore value is now 6. So we can spend 4 to cover off those, and then we put the remaining 2 here on Far Home. Do we want to travel? That we killed that guy that stopped us from traveling. So yes, I think we do want to travel. Cool, so let's do some travel. Alright, we'll flip this and we'll talk about travel. So the first thing you can do is fetch a location. You can't do that though unless you have experience and stuff. I can't remember the specifics of that, I haven't looked it up in a while, but we're not fetching. We're gonna do a search. So we're going to travel to a beacon. We don't have any beacons because we haven't done any traveling. So we're going to choose to reveal location. So the first location that we reveal, when we leave Far Home, we gain an experience, by the way. So we're at 1 experience. So this goes into our location discard pile. I'll move over here so we can see it. Location discard pile, great. And the first location that we have revealed is the Druidane River. Geez, that's pretty good. We only have to travel 2 for that. Oh, okay. Maybe we will take the Druidane. I really wanted to get some beacons, but that's just 2 distance away. So, yep, I think we'll take that. We'll take that. So we have to travel. We compare this card to this card, and we look at how far the distance is between those two, and we then use that to create our distance modifier, 1, 2, and we add that to our things down here. So this, both of these go to 1, so there's literally no change for the moment, but we have reduced our shade influence and we've explored one location. This one will gain us 1 experience when we leave it, and we still only require 4 to explore it. Cool. These are our permanent boosters, and this is our level up deck, which we'll look at when we get to that, which probably will happen pretty soon. We don't have to worry about anything else. We just put the new location token on it, and that's it. We didn't have any travel penalties, so that's fine. Okay, so we now go on to the attack phase. So our total attack is 9 plus 2 is 11. So we'll bring out the Deno dial for this one. And our attack type is photonic. So we actually can blast through his armor for 3. So that takes us down to 8. 2 takes us down to 6. And now, when defeated, the next enemy in your quest area immediately engages you. So this becomes a choice now. When you attack this enemy, choose 1 or place 2 on the treachery. I think we'll take 1 damage, so we're down to 5 health. And we've picked up 3 experience now, so we've got 4 experience from that. This, while there are the same number of enemies in the quest area as your play area. Yeah, excellent. So we're going to use this to attach a trance card to one of our enemies. And we're going to attach it off the beaten path. So it's going to be attached to this green wraith. When we attach it, we can place a progress on 2 enemies. So I'm going to place 1 here, and I'm going to place 1 here. That's a 10, we don't want a 10. And after you attach this, place it on 2 enemies. Enemies with a trance attachment give you effects, but we don't have that in play. However, we can discard 1 from the enemy to resolve the action of the trance that we attached. So we could resolve this action, and that would mean that this has got those little squigglies on it. So we could get the trance attachment gives you +2 enemies when defeated. And okay. So these 2 are dead, and we've got the XP. I've now got to make a decision. So I've got 6 left. To kill this guy is 4 health and 1 photonic defense. So that would take 5 of our attack. Now right now, yeah, this is so wild. We can discard a card from our hand with Songs of Battle. No, we do. We have Songs of Battle online. Actually, I don't have that ability. We only have Songs of Battle. Okay, that's good to know. Any number of times you may discard a card, then push an enemy that matches your Echo's type, or deal damage to an enemy of the opposite type equal to the card's shield value. So both of these are 1. So I could deal 1 damage. That one's photonic. I could deal 1 damage to the Garadeth Shield Bearer. Would come up 1 short though. I don't really want to do Songs of Battle. Oh, actually. Oh, this could be great. I think we're going to do something sick here. This is a good game. Oh, cool. Alright, so find balance. There is a permanent effect. While there are the same number of enemies in the quest area as your play area, all of your cards have +2 shield. Doesn't sound great. However, any number of times with Songs of Battle, we can discard a card and then push an enemy that matches the Echoes type, which will be the card that we discard, or deal damage to an enemy in your play area of the opposite type equal to the card's shield value. So while this is in play, that shield will become 3. We can deal 3 damage to him. I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm going to spend our 5 damage here on this Green Wraith. Bang, the Green Wraith is killed. We don't have any way to reattach that trance, I don't think. No. So that's fine. So the trance card goes into our discard pile. And this is going to generate us 2 XP, so we're up to 6 XP. And then, so 5 health. And then, because this ability is active, while there are the same number of enemies in your play area as your quest area, 1 and 1, there is, all of our cards have +2 shield. So I am going to now use Inner Strength with the boost of fire that's active to play Songs of Battle any number of times, discard a card, then push an enemy that matches your Echo's type, or deal damage to an enemy in your play area of the opposite type equal to the card's shield. Photonic, shield 3, thanks to that, we deal him 3 damage, he's defeated, he gets us 1 as well. 7 XP. Racking it up! Unfortunately we're raising corruption though, so that's okay, that's okay. It was good, it was worth it. It was worth it. Alright, we're going to generate some light back, which is good, but we do want to spend some experience now, so let's go over here. So I've got 7, I'd like to keep 1 left over, but I'm definitely spending, oh, do I want to unlock more skills? Yeah, 2, 3, yeah, alright, so I'm going to spend 3 there to give us 5 light generation, and 2 there to give us a card, and flip a card, meaning we've got 2 left over, and so we're going to have to give 1 of those to greed, so we've got 1 XP left over. This is hard mode. It's very early on, so we're still in the early stages. But we now get to take a level up and upgrade a card. So I'm going to do that now. Actually, I'm going to do that after I've got cards in my hand. So let's go to here so I can have my best pick of the cards. So let's go to here. So we're in the refresh phase now. I take a damage because of Dark Past, so I'm down to 4 health. Love skirting dangerously. This is discarded, this is discarded, this is discarded, this moves across. We restore 5 light now, so we're up to 15. And we draw this into our hand, and then we shuffle these. One, two, three, 4. So that's our hand. Now, because we've gone through our deck, we do have to move our corruption up by 1. So we're now in section 2, which means that we have to get an additional explore on the location that we're on to be able to fully explore it. So the more corrupted we get, the harder it is, the more enemies there are, etc., etc. The new location marker gets removed from there. We're not going to rest at this point. We've drawn to hand size, and so now we're going to look at our level up options. So I'll shuffle these and I'll deal out 3. 1, 2, 3. So if you complete the location while it has a fire attachment, so yeah, some of these cards for your hobby will not actually be super useful because the actions on them rely on skills that you won't have. So that's okay. The Mender's actually a pretty good class to use as your hobby if you're wanting to, because it'll let you do actions to heal. So it's pretty useful and it doesn't require a lot of skills on your board. So the Mender's probably the one I'd recommend you use as your hobby in your first game. But the Scorchright and the Wayfarer are both very, very cool. Alright, if you complete the location while it has a fire attachment, no. If you resolve your burnout skill, no. You may draw 1 card. You may attach up to 2 fire cards to an enemy in your play area. Okay, so none of those skills excite me. That's an 8 attack, and it's got the right card. So we're going to take that one into our hand. One of these goes to the bottom, so we'll put that one on the bottom. We draw 2 more. 1, 2. There's shortcut. That'll be the one I'll be taking. And now, the next one, and now we get to level up one of these cards. So let's just do this for fun because I haven't done this before. So here's our cards. We're going to look at all the leveled up versions and see the difference in the leveled up versions. So that only costs 3 light. Oh, look at that. Whenever, for each discard, resolve 2 of the trait-based effect instead of 1. So there's your regenerate from that. So that's very, very cool when you resolve your countervail skill. Okay, so, and its basic version is discard up to 3 cards and heal. Okay, so this is the leveled up Winds of Change. Treat 1 lock skill as if it was unlocked. Unreal. You may discard a card to consider anyone. Oh, that's awesome. So the numbers aren't high, but again, the light cost doesn't go up by much, so that's not too bad. Fine balance. That's quite cheap for a light cost too. Attach a trance card to up to 2 enemies in your play area. Gain 1 for every enemy in the quest area with a trance attachment. Cool. That one's probably the one I'm going to take because that is a cool card. Look at that action set stuff. That's sick. It's all about trances, baby. Okay, so that's an interesting option there. Your attack cards, thing and explore values are swapped. It doesn't sound very powerful, but it actually is extremely powerful because what you're doing when it comes to the refresh phase is you're sliding your attack card over to here. So what you're basically saying is, my explore card, I can take a really high explore card as my attack card, which will mean I'll have a very powerful attack this turn, and next turn I'll have a very powerful explore as well. So that card's actually exceptionally powerful. It doesn't necessarily look it on face value. Discard progress tokens dealing it damage. Yeah, that's good too. What's that basic value? Okay, so this one is cool because we've got a progress on an enemy. So we're going to be able to add that to the location. Really awesome. Enemies with a trance attachment. Yeah, we'll probably go for this one, I think, as our action card. So anyway, we won't upgrade that one. Inner Strength. You may discard 1 card to heal 2. Oh, all of these unlocked skills. 6 light. I don't think we'll be leveling that one up. Thank you very much. Off the Beaten Path is such a cool card. Attach all trance cards in your hand. Deal them 2 damage. Oh, that's sick. Okay. We might attach that as a trance though. Oh, it's good though. Anyway, okay. And this one is the card we just added to our hand. Look at that leveled up version. 5 light though. Discard any number of attached fire cards if discarded from an enemy. If discarded from a location, place 7 progress on the location. You're burning the location to the ground to find where you're going. How sick's that? That's too expensive for light costs. Cool. So we're going to take Fine Balance as our leveled up card. It's only 3 light cost at a leveled up one, so that's excellent. All right, so we're now back to the staging phase of the next turn. So let's do it. Our current darkness value is still 3, so we're still only revealing 3 enemies worth of darkness worth of enemies, a Soul Assassin, and a Molten Trailhound. Okay, so that one adds distance. Probably all 3 of these are coming down now. So I probably want to play the card that allows me to gain experience when I kill, off the beaten path. Enemies with a trance attachment give you +2 experience when defeated. So I like that. I like that a lot. And we'll probably play, we want to play an air card. Winds of Change will be our card because it's 0 light cost. Amazing. So we want to try and keep this as cheap as possible. Valiance is pretty good actually. Has that leave me any trance cards? Yes, it does. Just one. So yeah, cool. So if we look at our action set, we're paying 4, 5, 6, 0. So we're paying 6, takes us back to 9, which means all 3 enemies engage us in the engagement phase. Perfection. So now all of our explore values, which is 3, will go all onto the location because we have no enemies in the quest area to muck about with. And oh, we didn't play that one. We didn't play that one, but there's one that lets you take that and put it on the location. Oh no. Was it this one? Yes, look at that. If we played Valiance, we would have discarded that from every enemy that has it and put it on the location. Oh, that would have been sick. We would have been able to travel away from the Druidane River, but not today. That's fine, that's fine. So now we're going to use our trance card. We're into the attack phase. So we're going to use our ability here. Oh, we can't attach with that. Remove up to 3. Enemies with a trance attachment give you +2 when defeated. Okay. Photonic, physical. Interesting. So I've only got an attack of 9 this turn. But I don't have any beacons, so I can't do a search action. Man, it's so weird, the travel. You don't realise how weird it is. Okay, we have Solitude. At the end of the engagement phase, we can push one enemy. Okay, both of these guys are punishing us for travelling, but we have a physical attack, so I've got 9 attack right now. This guy needs 3, this guy needs 3, and this guy needs 4. So we're 1 shy. However, maybe we can discard a card, or at the end of the engagement phase we can push an enemy. Yeah, so maybe we're just going to push an enemy. Yep. Yep. So I think I'm just going to push this. Both of these are fine. I'll push the Assassin out of the way, and I'm using Solitude to do that. Because we have the wind element active, push one enemy. If there are more enemies in your quest area than your play area, there's not. But if there is, you increase your attack by your attack in your echo. We don't have that. We're not going to attach a trance card this turn. We're not discarding any cards. And we don't have hidden depths as yet. So that's fine. Great, so we're just going to spend our 9 attack to kill these 2. That's going to get us 1 experience, 2, 3, and because of this, 4, 5. So we're getting 6 experience out of killing those 2 chumps. And this trance card will go to our discard pile. And neither of those have a when defeated. So that's fine. We do have that ability, but we're not going to use that. And that's pretty much it. Not discarding. So this goes here, this goes here, this slides across, and this goes here. And that's it. Now we shouldn't be exhausting our hand. We're not. Our deck, which is good. So we want to try and use some regeneration somehow this time. Okay. So we go to the refresh phase. In the refresh phase, we update the location, so we're adding a shade to the location. We're producing light. Our light production is 5, so we're going to 14. We can rest. Don't think we want to rest. Radio Companion, no. So let's spend some experience. I have 6, but if I spend 5... Ooh. So what does greed do if I don't? I lose 2 light. Oh, I don't really want to lose 2 light. My light generation is a problem right now. Now let's give it to him. We're going to do this. We're going to unlock 2 skills and we're going to add a card and flip a card from our level up. The card we're adding is Shortcut. We'll worry about the card we're flipping in a second. I'll discard that and take these 2 to here. And we'll go back to this one. So greed is going to cause us to lose 2 light. So we're down to 12. Yuck. Because we just spent 6 XP. So we're down to 0 XP. But we get to level up one of these cards. I love Shortcut. It's one of my favourite cards. We'll save that. Find balance. Yeah, trance cards. Yeah, baby. I think we want to spend as little light as possible here. And maybe let's try discarding some cards to get regenerating. Could work. Could work. Power of the mind, regain control. After you attach this, gain light equal to half the enemy's darkness rounded up. Okay, so that one can get us a bit of extra light. It's basically 1 cost. So which one do we want to level up? Power of the mind. Yeah, maybe we'll... Yeah, I think we're going to level up Power of the Mind, and let's see if we can make that work for us this turn. Yeah. Oh, I need some cheap wind cards. That's 3 as well. Ugh, okay. Okay, so next round, we're going to the staging phase. We're still only 3, so that is a Threatened Swifter and a Pyrus Razor. Okay, so he's bad for travel, and he is also bad for travel. He attacks us. I like neither of those. I like neither of those. Are we travelling this turn? Maybe we're not travelling. Maybe I'm just going to kill them all. I get to unlock 2 skills as well. So I have to take another damage from Dark Past. I might have missed that twice. I'm going to put myself on 2 health. So we need to travel. I did, yeah, thank you, Vile Light. I do need to unlock 2 skills as well. So it can be Find a Way, Singular Focus, where if you play an attack card with a higher explore than attack, it costs -2 to a minimum of 0. Yeah, okay, so Singular Focus is the go for one of them. And Enduring Hope. The element of your echo is also active. Okay, we could be on for a monster. We could be on for an absolute monster. So let's go with Shortcut. So we've got Earth Elementals active at the moment, but we're going to be able to discard a wind card, and that will then mean that our wind card is also active. Oof, oof. But now I need to decide. I've got to spend as little light as possible here. They're all 3s and 2s. Ugh. So we're spending 6 light. So that's going to take us to 8. So we are, yeah, okay. Whew. Oh no, because we've got Singular Focus, if you play an attack card with a higher explore, it costs 2 less. So we could play this inner strength, and it only costs us 2. It only costs us 1 light. G'day, Sayonara. I'm glad. Yeah, look, it looks complex, and I really tried hard to make the game feel more approachable in the playthrough that I did. Because when I played it for the first time, I thought, oh geez, it took me a really difficult time to learn the game, but once I had it down, everything just flowed really easily. And I'll just repeat, this very useful, makes the game a lot simpler to follow. Okay, so what's my attack? It's currently 6, and it's a physical. We've got 3. We need to play a photonic attack. I have no photonic attacks in hand. Except for shortcut. Do I play shortcut? And use a different one for the earth elemental. Alright, maybe that's actually a better option. And then play restoration. 4. And what's my skill that I'm playing? Regain control. After you attach this... No, I want to attach trance cards in a different way. So how many trance cards have I got? I've only got 1 trance card. Oh, this is a tough turn. Refresh phase, gain 1 for every enemy in the quest area with a trance attachment. That one lets me put light out, so I think that's the correct approach here. Okay, so we need to travel this turn, but both of these are going to force treachery. So that's bad. Okay, I also need to do something over here. When you place any on this location, add 1 to the current treachery. Ignore this if there are no enemies in your play area. No, there was an enemy in my play area when I travelled. Explored, rather. Okay, so we're probably proccing that treachery. Yuck. So I think that's what I want. So I'm spending 6 light to go down to 8, which means all 3 enemies come down here. Now, I have Singular Focus active, which doesn't do anything. I have Enduring Hope, which doesn't do anything yet. Oh, this is not going to work the way I wanted it to. I really need that. I can attach a trance card to an enemy, and I can attach it to this guy to gain light equal to half their darkness value. So I'm going to gain a light, so I'll go up to 9. So that's fine. I don't have any way of just discarding a card right now. That could be okay. Power of the Mind. Yep, that could be okay. Because I have a total attack value right now of 4, 6 is 10, and it's a photonic attack, and these are all physical. So I'm going to kill all 3 of them, but we are going to travel first. Our Explore is 2, and that is exactly what we need. Sorry, I lie. Our Explore is 4. That is exactly what we need to clear this location. Oh, so we have to place another 1 on the treachery. When we travel, we have to put that equal to the distance we travelled. And then when you attack this enemy, we have to choose place damage. Oh. Okay, so we need some beacons so we can do some healing. That is an absolute fact. Yep. So we're going to travel over here away from the Druidane River. That gets us an experience. And we will reduce our shade influence again. And if we explore 1 more time after this, did I remember to put out 4? I may not remember to put out 4. because we had a thingy on the location. I think I only put out 3. Maybe I put out 4. Because I think we cleared the board. Yeah, we did. Okay, so the first search, or the first location is Northwood Mountains. That is literally a 1 distance away. Oh, that'd be so good. There's no guarantee that... Oh, I need beacons. But that is such a good one to travel to because it literally bumps our distance up by 1, which means we still don't go up. It's only going to put 1 tread. Yeah, okay, I'm taking Northwood Mountains. We're going to the Northwood Mountains. So we're travelling 1 travel, and that moves this from here to here, which means this green goes up by 1. So we are still on 0 difficulty exploration. How good's that? Okay, very good. After we travel, here we have to put progress on the treachery equal to the distance we travel. We travelled 1 distance. And then we place 1 damage on that enemy. If we travel a distance of greater than 3, it will attack us. We did not travel a distance of greater than 3, so that is fine. So we go on to the attack phase. Our attack is 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 plus 6 is 10, and we need significantly less than that. So all of these are defeated. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 experience that we get. So we're going up to 5. And this is going to here. And this is now active, which means we could use Countervail if we could discard a card. After you attach a trance card, end of engagement phase, none of those are activated. Alright. Refresh phase, we gain 1 XP for every enemy in the quest area with a trance. There is none. And that's all. So, do I want to spend 4 XP to unlock 2 more skills and unlock Hidden Depths and Dark Past so I don't suffer any damage, but then I don't heal again? Yeah, let's do it. I think we're skirting a fine line here. So we're going to spend 2 more to unlock 2 skills, 4 XP. So we're down to 1, but we're going to immediately give that 1 to Greed. So he's now got 2, the Meddler. We don't suffer the penalty for Dark Past because we have Earth active. We also have Wind active for what it's worth. And we've now just unlocked it along with Hidden Depths. And that is all. So we do need to get a little bit more XP, I think. So this slides across. We're not going to have a great time exploring this next turn because we only have 1. The order that you discard these is now important because our Echo will be active, but we are probably not going to have to worry about that because we're going to have to discard and shuffle. Yep. So 1, 2. And do we have any other refresh phase things? No, remove that. New location action. So let's count that. Do we have 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do. We'll just reiterate where we're looking to go here is Northwood City, Sol, or Garadeth. And if there is not at least 6, you cannot travel unless you've completed at least 2 other locations. So we have completed 2 locations, but we do need to find, we'll go 1 more, I think. We did just shuffle our deck, which means our corruption has moved to level 3. If our corruption gets to 5, we lose. So we're travelling okay. We're going to have to hope that one of those locations is in this deck. The next travel will be a big one. So again, we're just drinking out 1 Pyrus Lobber 2, and a Pyrus Razor. That's the 3 that we have. Here's more travel. Annoyance. Okay, so I think we want to use a healing card this turn. And I think we want to have a wind thing active. We do. So if we use that, so we want to use wind. The other option is if we use earth. No, that's the one we want to use there. Oh, this is not. I want to be able to pull cards from here with this ability. Oof, that's annoying. So healer and strong allows us to pull an enemy. Healer and strong. Healer and fervent allows us to mill. Fire, alert, tireless. Okay, so this is probably not the plan then. Maybe we're just going to use... Stand strong. So if we've activated that, we can use Songs of Battle, but we won't have Enduring Hope activated. Ugh. I really wanted to use this Power of the Mind for our Countervail skill, but maybe we just go for Earth. That's the only Earth card I've got in my hand. Okay, retract that. So we'll go Wind. We'll go Wind Wall. And Healer and Fervent. Alright, Healer and Strong pull an enemy. So I've only spent 3 light. If I can get away with spending less light this turn, that's not good. That's not good. So what's my best attack card option here? These are both 1 photonic and 1 physical defense. So not ideal, having them split. We don't want him to attack. So maybe we push him back with the Solitude, end of the engagement phase. Okay, now we're starting to get a plan. Alright, so if we use that to heal, and then I just want to have a photonic attack to kill him. I don't have a photonic attack in my hand other than Wind Wall. So maybe we play Wind Wall as our photonic attack, which will give us an attack 4. And then... yeah. Maybe we use... no, I don't want to use Inner Strength. I think we just use Stand Strong. Okay. So let's work with this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light that we're spending. Oh, I forgot to regenerate. So we went back up and then we spend back to 5. So both of these enemies are coming down. We've got Wind active, which means at the end of the engagement phase we can push an enemy. We can also attach a trance card, or after we attach it we can do stuff. We're not going to. However, 1 card we discard counts as X clones of the card discarded, and the clones have a shield value of 1. So we're going to push this Pyrus Lobber back. No, we're going to push this guy back because he's worth more experience and I want more experience. And we now have the option to may discard up to 3 cards, healing 1 for each card discarded. If we discard a card that has the word heal on it, we also heal 1. And if we have 1 card counts as X clones. So if I discard this Inner Strength, I'm going to heal 1 from it, and then I'm also going to heal, because it's got the healer keyword, let's zoom in on this, thanks to Countervail. Yep, this is what I want to do. So I'm healing 3 from that card being discarded. It also has Fervent, so I could mill if I wanted, but I don't want to. I don't have this active, so I don't also have this element active. But I can discard more if I want. However, I'm not going to. No, I will. I'll pull that back into my hand. And then I have to discard a card. And I'll discard the same card. And that'll get me another heal to go up to 6, thanks to Countervail. And that's it. Cool. So we've used our discards pretty well there to heal up quite a lot. We're now going to attack. Sorry, we have to go on to the explore phase, don't we? Yes. So my exploration is 5. So I'm going to let this Pyrus Razor do nothing. I'm going to spend 1 darkness on him, and I'm going to put 4 onto the location at the Northwood Mountains. So that's done. We attack him. Our attack value is 4 in total, which is enough to kill him. Gets us 2 experience, 1, 2. We're not going to be able to spend that for this turn. He's not doing anything. End of engagement phase. Touching a transcard, no. Discards, no. Hidden depths, no. Perfect. So that's it. Shortcuts out of here. Wind wall slides across. I want the wind active, so I'm putting that one there. I'm drawing back up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the refresh phase, I'm generating 5 light, so that's going to go back up to 14. I am adding a darkness to that location. And I have to give Greed another experience, so he's at 3. And I go down to 1. No level ups this turn, but that's okay. So I need to travel another 5 at the Northwood Mountains. I would have liked to have kept my shortcut, but that was the only wind card that I had. I'm needing to spend at least an explore card of 3. And off the beaten path will be the card. Oh no. Okay, engagement phase. So we have 4 total because we're 3 darkness plus 1 here. So a dusk enemy again. There's a level 1 Garadeth Seeker, a Soul Conspirator, and a Terragard Watchman. He's bad if he's in the quest area. I probably want to bring all of them down. Physical, photonic, physical, photonic. Awful. I don't really want to spend an awful lot of light this turn, but we've got a lot of expensive light and I'm not generating enough. So I want Earth as my active power, but I also need to have at least 5 to be able to explore there. Oh, that's right. If I play an attack card that has a higher explore than attack, so no. Oh, this is so good. All right, let's think. We need to generate more light. I need to get lots of experience this turn. Maybe not. We are just trying to rush to greed now. So I think the goal has to be, let's kill the Soul Conspirator, and the Pyrus Razor is going to be a problem whatever we do, if I can kill him. But I think we need to travel. If this guy's in the quest area, we're taking damage equal to the thing on the treachery, and there's 3. after you attach this, place 1 on 2 enemies. So do I want to resolve my countervail skill? Do I have creative? Do I have a creative card in my hand? I don't have a creative card. Okay, so we're probably not going to use this ability. That was going to be my big plan. So which of our action cards do we want to play? Okay, off the beaten path. High light cost. Remove up to 3. We don't have any of those. And we don't have any trance attachments in play. But enemies with the trance gain 2 when defeated. Not useful because we don't have any trances attached. So we're going to leave that one for next turn, I think. Super cool. We don't want wind active, we want earth active. So that action is probably not an action card, but it could be our attack card. That is a physical attack, so that'd be better against the Garadeth Seeker. Soul Conspirator. Okay. I don't think we have any photonic attacks anyway. So this one could be our action card. Attach up to 2 trance cards to enemy in your play area. And in the refresh phase, we can gain... Yeah, okay. Because we can use that. Oh, that's it. I want to use that as a trance. After you attach this, push this enemy. Attach a trance card for every enemy. Yeah, so that might be our attack card because it's photonic. And I think I want to kill those guys more. That doesn't let us attach any cards. Discard from any, place it on the location. So we have singular focus active. So let's zoom in down here. Whenever you push an enemy, add a path. We don't have that active. Whenever you play an attack card, it costs -2. Then you may add 3 to 3 enemies in the quest area. Okay, so maybe we do need to go for that option, which could be off the beaten path. And then we can play Valiant. Okay, this could be pretty awesome. So if we do that, I just need an earth active. Has to be that. Oh, it's a punishing turn. Oh, look at the light. 3, 4, 10 light. Oh, no. It's going to add enemies. We're down to 4. It's going to add another Doom enemy. But we can do some pretty cool stuff here. Heal 1 for each trance you attach. We can do some cool stuff, I think. It's only 4 attack though. After defeating an enemy with a trance attachment. Oh, this is so crazy. If I reverse that and use Power of the Mind over here, I am paying less light. Okay, so this ability allows me to do 2 less light. Yeah, okay, this could be a really cool play. So let me talk through what we've got going on here. This is a wild turn. So, first of all, I've got an earth element active, and so that means that I've also got a wind element active because of Enduring Hope. So those are both active. Great. Second of all, singular focus. If you play an attack card, which is this card, that has a explore value that's higher than its attack value, we do, it costs -2 light. So we're only paying 2 light for this card. Then you may add progress to up to 3 enemies in the quest area. Okay, pretty good. Trance, attach a trance card to every enemy with a progress on it, heal 1 for each trance you attach. And if you defeat an enemy with a trance attachment, I can attach it to a different enemy. The trances in my hand, this guy's wild. After you attach this, add 1 progress to an enemy. And this one, after you attach this, choose 1 enemy with a trance to attack a different enemy with a trance. And we can also defeat an enemy with a trance, move it to a different enemy, which reattaches it. Ooh! So I think I might be able to kill all these guys, even though I'm only going to have a 4x4 attack this turn. Maybe. And at the end of the engagement phase, I can push 1 enemy. Let's do it. Let's do it. Rod Stewart. So the total light cost is 3, 6, 8. So our 14 goes down to 6, which means 4 enemies come out. And then we add an additional dusk enemy to the area, which is a Pyrus Lobber. Now we get to add progress to up to 3 enemies in the play area. How long have we been playing for? 2 hours. No, I've done a lot of talking. So we'll go 1, we'll go 2, we'll go 3. Who's got the highest attack? That guy has to attack. He's photonic, so he can attack him, which will kill him. Cool. So we'll do that, I think. What's our attack type? Our attack type's physical, so we want to probably do that. Yep, okay. So now, attach a trance card to every enemy. Heal 1 for each trance you attach. I've only got 1 wound that I need to heal. If I had redirect on, would have been able to damage other people. Would have been sick. So I'm going to attach this to this guy, and I can add 1 progress to an enemy. I'll add 1 to the Gyarados Seeker. And then I'll attach this trance card to this guy. Now that I've attached that, I can choose 1 enemy with a trance to attack a different enemy with a trance. I will choose this Terrorguard Watchman to attach this Soul Conspirator. That kills him and gains us an XP. And then, because of this, after defeating an enemy with a trance attachment, attach the trance to a different enemy. So we're going to attach it to this. What's our total attack this turn? 4. Ugh. Four there to that. When I attach this, I can add another one to an enemy. So I'll add another one here. No, we'll add another one here. And then, so I've got 4 physical, which means I can kill him. And I think we want to kill him. So at the end of the engagement phase, I can push an enemy. Oh, if there are more enemies in the quest area than your play area, increase your attack by your Echo's attack. Our Echo is nothing, so that's fine. I think we attach him. We push him back there. Yep, sweet. So then we move on to the explore phase. Our total explore is 6 right now. Oh. So we're probably not travelling this turn because I need to kill him. So we're just going to clear off those 3 and we're going to put 3 on the location, which will take it to 7 of 9. 7 of 9. Running out of little explore tokens. Let's use experience for this guy. Okay. So next turn we're having a Doom enemy, which is bad. And we might even be advancing the corruption as well. So we could be in huge trouble here. We definitely needed to see more beacons. That was crazy stuff. Okay, so we've cleared that. We're going to do our attack. we're going to attack this Terror Guard Watchman. I might be better off actually here travelling and letting this treachery go off. Yeah, I'm doing that. So instead, I'm going to put a point over here on this. I'm going to put 2 points on that. 1, 2. Doesn't clear that off as yet. And that will allow me to take 9 and travel. So we're going to travel this turn. When we travel, we're putting distance on the Pyrus Razor. And we're not going to be attacked there, and we're not be attacked there. Okay. So we're travelling. We're going to gain 2 experience for leaving the Northwood Mountains. And after leaving this location, we're adding 2 of these, which are obstacles, to the new location. All right, we have Everkill. Everkill is now a beacon. Our first beacon. 1. Number 2, the Ruins of Orseth. We don't want to go to the Ruins of Orseth. We want to go to Sol, Northwood City, or Garadeth. So we won't go there. That's a new beacon. The Irid Desert, that's literally 1 distance away. Place X on this location where X is the number of Sol enemies in play. We're not going to go there. That's another beacon. This location will have Dark Symbionts. It's Spellwood. We're going to use that as a beacon as well. And now we're going to have to start to defer locations. So the next one, the Dunes of Galantia. That is probably not too bad. Do we want to get to Greed this round, is the question. Can we hold out for 1 more turn? I feel like we can hold out for 1 more travel, because that's only a 2 distance away. So yeah, we're gonna go here to the Dunes of Galantia. So that's it. We've got 2 obstacles there. It's a problem, but it's also not a problem, which is excellent. Okay, cool. So now, because of this Pyrus Razor, we travelled 2 distance, which means we are completing this Kabbalist support. When completed, remove all paths and add 3 obstacles. So we now have 5 obstacles at this location. That is not ideal. And enemies heal for 3 at the start of the refresh phase. One of these also carries over as well onto the new one, which is the Plot Thickens. However, that's only a specific type of enemy that heals at the start of every refresh phase. Whew. Travelled 3 locations. So he's done. We now need to put a damage on him. No attack. No attack. Cool. So we're going into the attack phase. I have a total of 4 attack. It's physical. I'm going to put it onto this guy, who is photonic. That gains us 2 XP. We go up to 4 XP. This trance card goes away. Enduring Hope, no. Dark Pass, no. Whenever you push an enemy, push +1 enemy and add a path. Because of Solitude. So we could push him back as well and add which would then allow us to have that, which doesn't help us at all. No, that's fine. Yeah, this the full combos for this pair. It's crazy. Yeah, I really wanted to use this Countervail, Power of the Mind ability. It's so crazy. Whenever you resolve your Countervail skill, for each discard, resolve 2 of the trait-based effect instead of 1. So I can use Regenerate 2. So every time I discard a card, I'm getting a card back into my deck. So if you time that right, you can basically have a really extensive turn, which would be pretty cool. But we're not going to get to do that. Refresh phase. The new location marker goes away. We are going to produce light, so we're going up to 11, which is not great. Resting, we don't want to pay XP. We have a huge explore this turn, and this is why I was sort of okay with pushing this turn, because this explore is going to let us basically clear this location straight away. We are drawing 1, 2, 3, and then we are going here. I've only got 4 XP. One of those has to go to the greedy little boy. So if I spend 3, that gets me absolutely nothing. So we'll hold on to that. And we will draw 1, 2. And now we are at 4 corruption. So we definitely need to reach greed this turn, I think. Remove all locations with a 6 in their coordinates if there is not at least 6 in the quest area. This guy did have to attack us for 1. I'm taking 1 damage. That's not a problem. Cool. So next round, we have we travelled 2, yep. So we have, again, a shade value of 3. So dusk enemies come out. So we have a Soul Conspirator. We have a Molten Spy. This will be a 2 guy. Far out. I hate those trail hounds. I hate them. Okay, this is a when revealed. And this is a bad one. When revealed, choose remove X progress from the treachery or add it to the treachery where X is the number of that enemy in play. Fortunately, there's only 2. So we're going to have to escalate our treachery up to 3. Pretty bad. Cool. So that's the staging phase. So now we need to go ham here as much as we can. So we're probably going to find balance. And probably has to be restoration because we need our earth to be active. And then we'll go Winds of Change. So it's going to be a total of 6 light. It's going to take us down to 5. So that's 4 enemies are coming down and we're revealing another dusk enemy. So we'll do the 4 enemies coming down first. Doesn't really matter where they go because you can choose the order to attack them in. And now, so that's actually this. And now another dusk enemy comes out. Oh, he's bad. He's got an extra health where health's the number of completed treacheries. He's bad. So I've paid my light. I've done that. Now this says during the action set phase I can discard a card. I will discard Burning Bright. I now have Countervail active, so that's not helping me at all because I don't have that, but I have the wind things active. If you play an attack card, no. Element of our Echo is also active. We don't have to do Dark Past. Okay. So we're going to use our search action now, and I'll actually reveal the rulebook for this. So when you do a search action, you get to flip and add paths equal to the number of beacons you have. So we've got 4 beacons. So we can add 4 paths, which are great. The downside on the obstacles is they're going to add to our distance when we travel. Every obstacle at the explored location adds a +1 terrain, but if we have a path, it adds a -1. So we are going to basically net off most of these. We're going to be 1 short. So we basically have an extra +1 distance when we travel away from here, which isn't too bad. The obstacles are crappy, but we need to find Northwood City. So let's look at our exploration this turn. It is 11. 11 exploration. So we have enough to block those two and fully explore the dunes of Galantia. If you travelled here from the north, did we travel from the north? No. So we ignore that, and that's actually got a path on it. So we're actually netting off here. So that's great. So we're travelling away, gets us an experience straight away. However, some bad stuff's going to happen when we travel. Let's go over here. Add 1 to our distance when travelling, so we have a +1. And after we travel, put a thing on the treachery equal to the distance we travelled and then place a damage on him. That's bad. So the treachery, this second treachery is probably going to complete, which is going to make for an exciting finish. Okay, we need to find Garadeth. Let's actually look at our fetch action now, because I need to know if I can do that. I don't think I can. I think you need to be at a specific location for the fetch action. Have I turned this book on? No. Fetching. Fetching. I do look very fetching tonight. Hair's looking lovely. Where is the fetch action actually at? I can't even remember. Not in that section, Deno. You can search for the words in this, I think, can't you? Revealing the shade encounter, travel, fetch. Once per game. To the new location, it must say fetch ready. The location you just explored must have coordinates that sum 6 or greater. The dunes of Galantia is 7. And you must pay 4 XP. We have 4 XP. Get around it. Alright, we can do a fetch action. Excellent. So we will do a fetch action. So we're going to go to, we can actually choose which location we want to go to. So we either want to go to Northwood City, Sol, or Garadeth. Let's look at all of them. Let's see how far off they were. Way of Madness, no. Garadeth would have been Garadeth enemies in your play area move to the quest area at the end of the engagement phase. Interesting. We have a Garadeth Seeker. That might not be bad for us. Okay, so that's Garadeth. If we want to go there, it's an option. The next one's Northwood City. This is one of my favourite places, by the way. Mike went there. Helm's Peak. Nice. No, not Helm's Peak. Not that one. Terramore. So we actually would have been able to get there pretty quickly. We wouldn't have had to do this fetch action. Where else are we going? Sol or Northwood City. So there's Northwood City. What does it have for us? It's a bit closer, actually, so that one's probably preferable. Every 2 light you produce during the refresh phase adds progress to the treachery. Oh, that is punishing. And where's Sol? We have to choose one of these 3. Okay, so Sol's, was it Sol? Yeah, Sol's probably the one we go to because it's the closest. And all Sol enemies, they're already engaging us. So we're going to go to Sol. We've made it to the final location, so we calculate the distance to travel there. We have these, but we also have these. So our total distance is 1. We have to add an extra distance to our thing when travelling, so it's 2. We have to put 2 progress on the treachery because we've travelled 2 distance. We then also move up this track 1, 2, so that goes here and here. So we're finally engaging there. That's fine. We've arrived at Sol. It's our final location. When the final location is explored, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to reveal Greed. Here he is. I think let's go read that because it's been a little while since I played. When you achieve that location. Okay, so which locations the shade will be revealed in? You reveal the shade at the end of the first staging phase after you travel to a location. Cool, so he's not going to be revealed as yet. So he's going to stay face down and he'll come out next turn. When he's revealed, he's going to be available to fight. However, we have travelled to Sol, so this guy is going to flip and he is going to appear here. So we've travelled to Sol. All Sol enemies in the quest area engage you at the end of the staging phase. Pretty good for us. Okay, I think we're a chance here, maybe. We're maybe a chance. Fetch action done. Maybe. So our attack type is photonic right now. At the end of the engagement phase, we can push one enemy. We'll push him. Do I want to push him? Or do I want to push a photonic defense guy? Let's push him. Yep. So now we're on to the attack phase. This Gyarados Seeker has 3 photonic armor. Our total attack this turn is 11 plus 4, 15. So we need 1, 2, 3. We can pay 2 XP to push or pull Greed. So let's spend 1 of our attack. We've got 15 attack. Time for the Deno dial. 15 attack. So 1, we're going to kill this Pyrus Razor. Gets us 1 XP. And then we'll spend 2 on this Soul Conspirator. So we're down to 12. And that gets us 2 XP, so we can actually pull Greed down now, which I want to do. Because I want to kill him. So that takes us to 0 XP. He's 7, so we need 9 to kill him. So we'll kill him. We get that experience, which is 4, 5, 6, 7. So that takes us to 7. And he is out of our lives, thank goodness. And now we can also kill the Molten Trailhound because he's 3 and we're photonic. So that takes us to 8 XP. I still need to pay my light for this turn. No, I did that. So this guy's going to attack us twice because we are at corruption 4 or higher. I'm not worried about 2 damage. We're going to go down to 4 health. And that's all. So he's going to stay there. I could block, but I don't want to block. I want to keep as many of my cards as possible. Alright. We're going to go to the refresh phase. So we're discarding the new location marker from here. We're sliding these across. Restoration, Winds of Change. And we're drawing 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is probably it. If we can kill greed in this turn, we're fine. So we're on to the staging phase. We're regenerating light. Do we want to spend our 8 experience? So we're gaining 5 light, so we're going to 10 light. This is all in this turn, all in. So let's spend our 5 to gain a card and level up 2 cards. Greed joins the row. Gain a card. We'll just take easy target. And we get to level up 2. So this is it. We're all in. I need an explore total of 6. And we're revealing 4 thingy of enemies. What does this guy say? We spent 4 XP to level up, so we've got 4 XP to spend, which we'll need to use to pull greed. When revealed, if there is at not least 6 darkness in this quest area, so we need to reveal 1. Okay, so that's where we're at. That's our situation. Totally fine and normal. We need to add 4. There's a 2, and there's a 2. So just a totally fine 8 enemies, including this clown. But all we need to do is explore 6 on this location, kill him, and we win. So I need a total of 12 attack to kill him and survive the rest of the attacks. He does 1 damage to me when he's revealed. Yeah. So the level up card is, I've already got Opportune Moment, which is probably my attack card. So that's 6 power to play that. Oh no. So it's probably this. And we need to have, so I need to have how many explore? I need 6. I've got 5. Six light, that's too much light. No, I can't afford to pay that much light. No, you are so shit, Deno. Oh. Okay, so I was going to try and be tricky and use a trance card, but I think we'll just do this. We'll just use Wind Wall, which will be fine. We'll be fine. So I have 3, 9, 10 light. I've spent the maximum amount of light. I'm pulling down 6 enemies. Could be fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great. And then I might as well spend 3 to bring greed down as well. What a guy. They're all in our play area. Tremendous. At the end of our engagement phase, which is now, I can push one of these clowns away. I haven't leveled up 2 of my cards, have I? Maybe that is a better card for us to play than this. Saves us 2 light. And it's +1 attack, yes. So that'll be 1 less enemy engaged, thank goodness, which will be this one. Yeah, and then that one's already leveled up, sure. Inner strength, glorious. Okay. So now I can push one of these clowns backwards and it's going to be this Soul Scout because he's bad. So this is our situation here with the number of enemies we're dealing with. Yep, it's bad. And I was able to do that push because I have an Earth element active, and that means that the element of my Echo is also active, which is that, which means we've got Solitude. So that's fine. And look, this is going to be totally fine, and you'll see why in a second. But I need to cover off of three stuff here to not progress the treachery. So that's fine. I have a total explore of 4 and 5 is 9. So I'm going to put 7 of that onto the location. And it needs to be 7 because our resistance value is up 1. So we need to be at 7. So I'm going to put 2 on this Pyrus Lobber, and this 1 from the Soul Scout is going to go here under this treachery. The plot thickens. You only need 7 for that to be completed. Come on, Deno. He's got it. He's done it. He's done it. I'm sure of it. Excellent. I've got an attack phase happening now. My attack phase is 13. I'm putting it all on Greed. Greed has 8 health and 4 photonic and physical resistance. So we kill Greed. He's dead. Get out of here. And now I've got 4 enemies. Well, a lot of enemies that are going to attack me, except for this lovely little card here, Windwall, that says discard up to 4 cards, disarming 1 enemy per card discarded. And when I discard a card, I also get to do stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. Disarm, 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 disarm. This guy can attack us for 3 damage if he wants. I don't care. You can attack us for however much you want, champion. It is game over. Yeah, we'll actually have this guy be the not one that disarms us. I can also discard a card to heal 1. I don't have any cards left. I don't need to heal anything. When I discard cards, I get to use this, so I get to heal 1 for that, which actually counts as heal 3, thanks to Hidden Depths. And that one's got Trance, and that one's got Healer as well, so I can heal from that one as well. And Strong, I can pull an enemy. I shan't be doing that. So, 4 of those enemies, 1, 2, 3, 4, are disarmed. That means they do not attack this phase. I have 1 attack left over. This is a physical attack. I probably could have worked out a way to kill that clown, but that's fine. He attacks us twice because our corruption's 4 or higher, so we go down to 5. I could also discard that, so he doesn't do any damage to us because you can discard from the top here. But we have defeated Greed, and we have explored the final location, which means we are successful and are victorious in this playthrough of Radiance. In this refresh phase, we can use these cards here to heal or do stuff. To be fair, there is a lot of enemies here that I would have to deal with somehow, but it doesn't matter because we won. Cheers. Yeah, that's sick. Cool game, cool game. Bit of Radiance on our Wednesday nights. Yeah, so this campaign ends in 2 days' time, and as I'm sure you can tell, I really like the game. I really like it a lot. We'll just have a little bo peep at the thing again, and just to reiterate something I said at the start, but for anyone who missed it, the graphics and stuff that's on mine have been updated and improved in the campaign. Just a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more readable in a lot of stuff. And enemies are marked up the top with this dark colour, and then locations are marked in the green colour, and then your luminary cards, when they level up, it's just this banner up the top that changes colour. So that's cool. We'll look at the stretch goals that they've unlocked. We didn't get to use a Barons. Normally, I think the Barons are great in the longer games. They put out a Doom enemy that is extremely high risk, high reward. You can just travel away from the location and not fight them and they go away. But if you fight them, they'll provide you a benefit when you defeat them. And there is 12 of them now. I only got 7 printed out. The side quests, yeah, we didn't go for side quests, and that's mostly because they weren't that interesting, or they weren't that accessible. Would we have been able to complete any of those, actually? So, let's see. We had block a total of 15 damage in a single defend phase. No. On a single turn, suffer 11 or more damage. No. Block a total of 7 damage in a single defend phase. We probably could have done that in the last turn. Fully explore 10 locations. No. Fully explore 2 of that type of location. Northwood Mountains is 1. Jourdain River, no. So we didn't get any of our quests. That's fine. The quests are variable. They're not supposed to be necessarily achievable every time. And cool, so there's some add-ons. The neoprene mats will be useful. I think organising this game is important. I'm obviously doing it with the aid of the cameras. Makes it easier. But let's look at stretch goals. That's what I'm keen on. So, cool. So yeah, we've got unique shadow card art. So that was the meddler that we had. So Greed's little baby version of Greed. So they're going to have their own unique art card. So it's not just the same art as the shades, which is awesome. The quest board becomes tri-layered. That's nice, so your things aren't going to slip around out of that. Companions have unique card art. Awesome. More side quests. Awesome. Unique art for each profession card. Unique art for each hero card. The Deno dial. The fold-out map. So I'm going to do something now that I haven't done before, which I'm excited about. And if we can get another 4K, we're going to get an upgraded shade board, which will be sweet. Currently, all of the boards are already double layered or triple layered or whatever it is. I think it's triple layered because they have hard modes on them. So that's nice. Yeah, what I want to do, I haven't done this, is I want to actually lay out all the locations and have a little look at the map. Because each of the locations has a specific geographical location on the map. Obviously, the 1-1 location's at the top left, and so on and so forth. So let's see what it all looks like. I've never done this. I hope Joe doesn't get angry at me for doing this. I'm sure it'll be fine. That Wisdom Mender combo is very challenging to play, especially with Greed. What you really want to do is level up and get more cards and have super cool cards and level up your stuff. It was just about rushing. I just had to rush to get through everything. So 1-1, which is Far Home, is up the top left. So I'll assume 1-2, so that's 1-3. Need to get all the locations out. So 1-6 goes all the way down here. 2-6 is here. 3-6. 6-3. So is this 5 across? Sol's there. Interesting. That's 4 down. 5 across, 2 down. I just wanted it. I like the art, so I thought it'd be cool to check it out. This is probably not the right car. I'll be able to zoom the camera out actually. 3-3 Helms Peak. There. 4-4. 3 across, 4 down. These are further down than that. The Flats of Milbereth. Cool. 2 across, 4 down. 4 across, 3 down. 6 across, 3 down. 1, 2. I'll zoom the camera out. I should be able to see everything now. The Wrath Marshes, cool. The Deep Forest, Terror Lake, Hillcrest, 1 down, 4 across. Sheer Valley, 2 across, 5 down. The Lake of Ire. Northwood Mountains, Druidane River, 2 down, 4 across, 4 down, 5 across, 6 down, 4 across, 4 down, 6 across, 5 down, 6, 2 down, 6, 6, 6, 5, 6, 1, 6. This is the map. So I just wanted to see if there's like any thematic tie-ins. And yeah, this is actually going to be the fold-out map that you get. It's probably going to look something like this, but maybe a little bit more cohesive. But yeah, you've got this desert next to the dunes of Galantia. They actually match up. Oh, look at that. That matches up too. That's cool. The Northwood Mountains. That matches up. That's sick. So does that. Oh, that's pretty clever. The Stillwood and the Druidane River match up. Nice. Oh yeah, Helms Peak and Northwood City. Wilderforth. Yeah, that's fun. I like that. I like the artwork on these cards. Cool. All right. So that is the end of the Radiance playthrough, and that will probably be the last time you'll see this on the channel until I get my stuff. Thanks, Woo. Probably be the last time on the channel until I get my toys, unless there's any more stuff they want play tested. But yeah, I'm pretty keen for this. I will be doing a playthrough of Small Time Heroes. Fingers crossed. I might have convinced them to let me have some of the new cards to play that, so I'll get to play that before the campaign, which will be fun. But tomorrow, I think tomorrow night, we're going to be doing the Nucalope vignette. Assuming I get everything set up. That'll be cool. We came really close there, losing by treachery, actually. The pulling all those enemies in that last turn was actually a positive thing, because we didn't have enough exploration to both explore the location and prevent them from advancing the treachery. So we had to go out in a blaze of glory and pull everyone into us so that we could finish it off. Any questions, friends, before I pack up for the night about the game? Happy to answer anything about it. That's my 7th or 8th game now. I've played the Location Barons. I've played 2-player. I've actually played a 2-player game. I had basically recorded a 2-player game, and then the audio failed. So the recording was uploaded, but there was no audio. So I really liked it. First thing I'll say, it's very good. What I didn't expect to happen is what happened, and that is some of those abilities on the enemies chain off of other enemies being in play. Like it'll say, for every other soul enemy in play, XYZ happens. And so that's usually pretty minor in the early game until you get to the late game. But when you're playing 2-player, they all trigger because all the enemies are in play. And that's actually quite impactful. Not in a good way. So I actually think 2-player is harder for that reason. Now it's offset, of course, by the fact that you have access to more different skills and more different abilities that you can use to to work through the challenges that the game puts it at you, but that is just something to be aware of, that the game feels a little more difficult at that level. Yogi Bear, indeed, if you go, I think I've done 4 playthroughs on the channel now. If you want to go and look at some of the, I think playthrough 2 or 3, I actually did side quests and location barons in one of those playthroughs. So you can watch the exact playthrough. We didn't get to experience any of the barons in that game. We did have them in play, but the greed game is very much about rushing to the boss. And so that's the type of game that you have to be able to, that's what his shade card does, is he forces you to go through as quick as you can. The other ones don't, like some of the others, you don't lose until you get to Corruption 12. So you get plenty of time to explore the locations and take your time, which is when those location barons, which provide upgrades and buffs, are really cool. But on the whole, I think they're a really great addition to the game. I won't say the game is not complex enough, but I think what they do is they add a different vector for you to have to be considering things. Because normally it's just, the only things you have to think about is, this might sound stupid, but cool, I have to explore and I have to control the enemies. And after a while, it becomes straightforward. It's probably not the right word, but it's easier to be able to work out how you're going to handle those situations. By putting in the side quests and the location barons, you're adding a third thing to have to consider. Now I'm not just thinking about, well, I have to explore the location and cover off the enemies and then also kill the enemies. I also want to complete this side quest, and if I do that, I'm going to weaken myself in certain other areas, but maybe it'll be a long-term benefit. So I really like what they add to the game, and the barons are the same. They force you to stay at a location for longer than you want to potentially kill them. If you can kill them, they provide you a great benefit. If you can't kill them, you have to run away from them. Very thematic. And they don't follow you, they stay in that location. So they're pretty fun too. Again, both of those were in recorded playthroughs that are on the channel. In one of those, there was a side quest that we did very early on, which gave us a +2 attack and a +2 explore every turn. There was that like well-prepared one that I had at the start. Awesome. It was so good. And I had to delay for multiple turns at the start to be able to do it, which was worthwhile. Okay, this turned up today as well, which is cool. It was in the mail when I was doing my video. Ashes. The new rule books include rules for the Dragonborn, which is fun. I'll have to read through them and see how different they are. The Dragon Phase. There's new dice. There's these little ones and these little ones. Bees and owls. Got lots of playthroughs on the channel of Ashes if you've never seen it. It's great. I probably won't be playing that for a little while. What does that symbol do? Huh, cool. Find out, I guess. Cool, so tomorrow I'll set up for the Nucleope vignette, and if everything goes to plan, I'll stream that tomorrow night. May not go to plan, and if that's the case, I probably won't get to stream it until Sunday morning, which might be for the best anyway, because my wonderful American friends who love the Kingdom Deaths can watch if I do it on Sunday morning. Grim Coven painting continues apace. We're partway through the terrain stuff now and doing the elites next, and then I'm on to the monsters, which will be fun. So if I'm not playing Kingdom Death on Sunday, I'll be painting probably a monster from Grim Coven. Great. All right, friends. Hope you have a wonderful week. Get on board Radiance if you're not already. Highly recommend. And I'll catch you all again soon. And I'm also going to put up that post, which is going to be, what did I say? I said Nemesis, Euthia, and Frostpunk. So yeah, let me know what you want to see. I'll put up the post very soon. Big Deno out.